depending on the chamber to bring in businesses, to help our community grow. And we are dependent on our educators to educate our children. We want you to stay in your respective roles.
Amen.
We want you to let educators educate children.
Yes, sir.
And we want the chamber to bring in more businesses so when we educate these children, they can stay in our community and they can make a decent living.
Amen.
We're willing to forgive because we believe that you stepped out just for a moment and forgot your role. So we're going to give you a bye this time. We're going to think that you really didn't know what you were doing. And so we're not going to hold you accountable this time. But we also don't want to leave here today with you not knowing fully what we mean. If you should ever do this again without the community, there will be consequences to your actions. This is not a threat. This is a promise.
Amen.
The one thing that saddens me is that we are here in November, and our children have been in these schools, in these classrooms all year long. And I cannot believe that they've gotten the quality education that they could have gotten if this issue had not been going on for so long. I cannot understand or comprehend how teachers could teach knowing whether or not they would have a job from day to day.
Yes, sir.
We are living in one of the worst economic times we've ever lived in before. The unemployment rate is at the highest that it's ever been. And this community, this business community, was willing to send sacrificial lambs out to slaughter and say, well, somebody has got to go home, so why not you? I leave you with this. My question is, why not you? We have families that have to be taken care of. And apparently in this community, we are wealthy. We are full of knowledge, and apparently we have a surplus of disposable income. And I would challenge this disposable income to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that QE has done and the Chamber has done is they have put together a plan that will improve education in our school system. And my hat goes off to you. Now we need you. We need your resources. We have LEAF Foundation with the Lowndes County School System. We have the Valdosta City Schools Foundation on the other side, and their primary goal is to promote education. If you have all of this disposable income, we beg you to donate to these two worthy causes.
Yes, sir.
So that we can help solve the problems that you have identified. Because we've always known that there were problems.
Yes, sir.
But since you've already identified these problems, we now need your help. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yes, sir.
Now, we also realize that you have always supported our school system. Business has always supported our school system. And they will continue to support our school system. But now I ask you to step a little bit farther out. Not only give what you've been given, but now give a little bit more to help our children. If our children are living in poverty, it's because their parents are working for poverty wages. I offer to you, not only to the chamber, not only to the business community, but also to our Board of Education, our mayor and council, our media, our parents, and our community. We're going to be looking closer than ever before, and we're going to hold you accountable And I leave you with the same thing that I leave with the Chamber of Commerce. There will be consequences at the end of the day. But if you want to do what's right, there are no consequences. Because where there's no consequences, we know that you've done what was right. Bring it to all of us. Let everybody come to the table and have a voice. I can't leave here without saying, and it may not be clear, but the Valdosta Daily Times did us an unjust. I think that it would be good for the Valdosta Daily Times to offer that $977.85 for that ad and donate it to one of these foundations.
Yes.
If not, donate it to the Friends of Valdosta so we can pay our $1,300 fine for not filing our disclosure. And I understand your rationale that you did it when you were on board. But you should never have been on board. You should have been independent from day one and print the facts.
That's right.
And you should have given equal preference to both groups. So if you give to one, you give to the other.
Yes.
But I challenge you, Valdosta Daily Times, to be fair. And before we end this press conference, I want you to know, first of all, to the chamber and to the business, I offer you my symbolic olive branch.
Yeah.
I know my wife is going to kill me because I cut it off her flower. But we must now come together. We were friends yesterday, and if we're ever friends, we're friends today. We were on the other side, but now we must make peace. I offer you this olive branch as my peace. But I also give it to you with a little bit of warning that there will be consequences if this should ever happen again. Not only do I give you this olive branch, but I also give you my shirt. Because what you have been able to achieve is that you have indeed brought a community together.
Yes, sir.
You have brought a community, black, white, Republicans, Democrats, no God, some God. You brought them all to the table. Not only did you bring them to the table, but you brought them to the pole.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And to all the volunteers, I'm talking about the people who have canvassed these neighborhoods, who have come out of their comfort zones, who have put door knockers on houses, on cars, even in the rain, parents, board members, grandparents. I cannot thank you enough for what you've done for this community.
Yes, sir.
We will never, ever be able to thank you enough for what you've done for our boys and girls. And we know that after this day, that you will continue. But when we leave here, we must leave here not as winners, because that's personal. We must leave here this morning with a renewed spirit that we must make a more concerted effort to educate our children, not only in the classroom, but on the streets. We as a community, we owe that to our future. It's nobody's fault. It's our responsibility to educate. And nobody's at fault, because we're all in this together. But I can't thank you. This has not been a Sam Allen show. This has been a Valdosta show. And and you ought to be able to pat yourself on the back and say, job well done.
Job well done.
I would like to invite you, I don't know the time, but we're planning on a unity fun day on the 15th of November.
5:30.
5:30 at the Martin Luther King Monument. And we not only want friends of Valdosta to come, but we want Curie to come, we want Lowndes Countyans to come, we want our community to come. And let's reunite and become one once again. And if there's anything that was said before, we want to be able to come and say, I'm sorry, it's over. Let's get about what's important, and that's the education of our children. But I don't want to leave this podium without re-establishing the fact that the chamber and business, we hold you accountable, and there will be consequences.